Hi, my name's Matsuri and welcome back to my channel where I review, rant and discuss about shows or movies that I've recently seen. And today's review is on Violet Evergarden. So I don't remember why I watched this anime. I just remember thinking this anime was going to be about the war, and I knew I was going to cry a lot. I think it's because I saw that the movie was gonna come out and I was like, might as well have a watch of it. And half of me regrets watching it because, oh my god, I legit cried in every single episode. And it's not sad tears, it's all happy tears, or heartwarming tears, I guess you can say. But this was such a beautiful, beautiful story, and I'm just going to say it on the get-go, I do recommend it. So for those who haven't seen it or are thinking of seeing it, here is a rundown of the story. The war has ended and Violet Evergarden wakes up to find herself in the hospital bed. The last thing she remembers is blood pouring out of Major Gilbert as he says a few words before an explosion causes her to black out. As she writes a report to Major Gilbert, she is visited by Lieutenant Colonel Hodgkins, who tells her that Major Gilbert is on a mission and has asked Hodgkins to pick her up. As the war has ended, Hodgkins has quit the military and now runs a postal company and decides to hire Violet as she awaits Major Gilbert to come back. While working, she finds herself drawn to the office of the auto memory dolls, who type letters in place of people who cannot write, or would rather have it formally written. She finds herself wanting to become an auto memories doll because she was raised as a child soldier and nothing more than a killing machine, only to listen to orders and not have any emotions. But the only person to teach her things and about the world and how to think for herself was Major Gilbert. She desperately wants to know the meaning of the words, "I love you," he had said before she blacked out. She eventually starts to understand the different "I love yous" in the world. Will she find the true meaning behind the words? And will she ever see Major Gilbert again? Why did I watch this anime? Don't get me wrong, this anime is so beautiful. It's a really good anime, but like I said, I cried in every single episode. It was so emotional. In each episode, we experience through Violet, different stories that revolve around what love is. Be it love between friends, love between family, or love between lovers. Because it kind of reflects on what you will perceive as what love is. Have I told the people around me that I love them or I care for them? The thing I like about this anime is the fact that it's all done through letters. I feel like letters are very personal, but also very romantic in a sense. Now, I really love the animation because, like with Koi no Katachi, this is done by Kyoto Animation, so it's so beautiful and amazing. But what I really want to focus on is the fact that they're really good at showing emotion. Now, Violet is meant to be like a puppet, and she's meant to be like an emotional puppet, which you're meant to kind of project yourself on as, as she goes through the journey, you kind of go through the journey with her. And even though she doesn't show emotion, you can kind of tell what she's thinking and how she's feeling, because it's kind of hard to show for this review, but you're just gonna have to watch it so you know what I mean. Because although it's very subtle, I feel like, Kyoto Animations did a really good job at showing the subtleness of her going from, no emotion to her having a personality. And it's not just the animation, it's also the voice actor as well. She does a very good job. She's also the voice of Mikasa. Although she talks very monotone at the start, again, as the story progresses, you can tell that she understands like what emotions are, and she ends up becoming this like beautiful person with a beautiful heart. Now I have 3 complaints, and they're not really complaints like always, but the first one is there's a story in it where there's meant to be a marriage between a princess and a prince. And I understand that, way back when they had to marry off, the princes and princesses to, combine the country and, unify peace and whatnot, and they usually get sent off really young. But the fact that the princess is 14 years old and is after possibly a 20-year-old prince was kind of weird and creepy for me. Like, granted, it's all through letters, so it's not, it wasn't any like predatory kind of interaction there, and they seem to be generally in love with each other. But I wish they could have changed the setting of the princess age to at least 18, because at least that makes more sense for me, because at least she's an adult. I feel like if you're still 14, you're not really sure what you want. And I mean, I'm not saying 14-year-olds can't fall in love. Like, you probably love whatever idol you're after, or whatever actor, or whatever. But like, it's just more about the whole consent thing. And I know in Japan the consent is very low. I believe it's like 13 or 14, which is creepy. Like, it's a good episode, don't get me wrong. Like, if you don't think about the age, it's really, beautiful. But I kept on thinking about the age, and it was a bit of a creepy episode for me. And my second complaint is there's not enough information about Violet. Like, we are told through flashbacks of, how, what kind of person Violet is, and, what her relationship with Major Gilbert is. But we're not really told how she came about. Like, through the flashbacks, we're told that she tried to kill Major Gilbert's brother, Captain Diefried, who is the naval captain, on his ship, and she gets caught. And for some reason, Captain Diefried gives her to Major Gilbert and was like, you look after her. And so he uses her in the war as a weapon. But like, where did she come from? Like, why did she try and kill, Captain Diefried? Like, and why did she even accept Major Gilbert? Like, those questions weren't really answered, and if someone can explain it to me, that would be great. But yeah, those kind of like bits weren't in this anime, I believe. So it kind of confused me that she just suddenly appeared, and they was just like, all right, let's just. She's meant to be like super strong as well, or not super strong, but she's meant to be like a deadly weapon. So how did she get caught? And the other thing is, she didn't know, like, she couldn't really communicate. Like, she didn't know how to read or write. Maybe she couldn't understand language, which is fine, but like all those things weren't really answered. So yeah, it just left me with a lot of questions. So my complaint number 3 is, so when I'm watching anime, I usually don't really pay attention to whose voice is who, unless they're very unique and you know who it is. Now, with Major Gilbert, I kept on hearing Oikawa from Haikyuu, and I don't know how to explain it, because I feel bad for anyone who is a fan of Oikawa or is a fan of Namikawa Daisuke, but in my mind, Oikawa is kind of like, his voice is kind of sleazy, if that makes sense. Like, he's so full of himself that he sounds kind of sleazy, if that makes sense. And throughout Major Gilbert's dialogue, you can kind of hear Oikawa from time to time, and that's also the weird thing as well, that I kept on imagining Oiko as Major Gilbert. And it kind of ruined the experience for me a little bit, especially in the emotional scenes. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Namikawa Daisuke is a very good voice actor, and Major Gilbert is such a good character in general, but I just couldn't get Oikawa out of my head from time to time, and that kind of distracted me a little bit. So my favorite character is Violet, and my reason is because she's just a really likable character. Like I said, she is meant to be someone that you are meant to kind of project yourself on, so you can experience the world with her. But at the same time, because she doesn't know, subtlety or how to read the atmosphere, she's very straightforward with what she says. Like, she'll say things that she believes is right, or like, you know how sometimes there are like white lies that you usually tell? Like, she will like call you out on it because she knows she can't, read the atmosphere, if that makes sense. But at the same time, what's good about her is that if she doesn't know something, she's willing to admit it. Like, she's not going to try and like bullshit her way out of anything. She'll just be like, oh, I don't understand this. Let me, go and learn about it or find out for you. So in that sense, she is kind of a robot in that way, but at the same time, she's very human because she's able to show her vulnerable side as well. The other thing I like about her is that she's very, she's a badass as well. And one of the badass scenes that you'll see from her is that in the war, she's trying to like get Major Gilbert safety, even though she loses both her arms. Like, that's dedication for you there. But yeah, overall, she is such a lovely character that you'll fall in love with her once you watch it. So, should you watch this anime? Yes, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's such a heartwarming and lovely story that I think should be watched as well, just like Koi no Katachi. Although, make sure to bring tissues because, like I said, every episode will make you cry, especially this episode with a mother and daughter. There are 2 OVAs or special episodes, and I have watched them, and they're not necessarily important to the overall story. If you just want to see more of Violet, I would probably recommend watching them, but if not, you don't really need to bother watching them at all. But I am so excited for the movie. Like, it's already out in Japan, I think. I'm pretty sure it came out in October. But hopefully it'll be coming soon and I'll be able to watch it because it looks so sad. Emotionally sad. Yes, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a comment. Have you seen it? What is your definition of love? And have you said I love you to the people around you today? But yes, subscribe for more reviews and rants coming soon. Give me a like if you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!